What is big brain Joe Schoen up to? Is it trade into round one going to happen? We're going to break that down as well as other reports surrounding the Giants in the NFL draft. But first, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Programming alert. We are doing a company-wide live mock draft on Thursday. We have like 28 NFL teams that have channels here at Chat Sports, and we're going to be doing a live mock draft. I'm going to be making the picks for the Giants, and I want you there. So subscribe, turn those notifications on, and I'll see you Thursday. You're watching Giants Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green. Appreciate everybody for tuning in as we react to the latest rumors surrounding the NFL draft, as there is a team inside the top 8 that has said they are open for business when it comes to trading down. Does Joe Schoen have a big-time trade up his sleeve, and is he going to pull off a masterclass? We do know this. The Giants are privately working out Shedeur Sanders. We also have learned that they have a private workout scheduled with Tyler Shuck and Jalen Milroe. So they are doing their final due diligence on this quarterback class. But following the reports that came out late on Monday night, the Giants were having a trip scheduled to Boulder, Colorado to have an interview and another private workout with Shedeur. A lot of people thought that this meant the Giants were back in on Shedeur Sanders with the 3rd overall pick. And I said yesterday, prior to those reports, I'm not ruling out Shedeur at number 3. I think it's less likely that that is an option, whereas I think it's more likely that they actually trade back into the first round to select the Colorado quarterback. And Peter Schrager, now of ESPN, said this across multiple ESPN shows today. The Giants could take Abdul Carter at 3 and then trade up for Shedeur Sanders. He also said on ESPN's morning show, he thinks it is more likely that they trade back into round 1 for Shedeur than taking him with the number 3 overall pick. And when Peter Schrager talks about the Giants, I listen because he has a really good relationship with Joe Schoen. So now let's operate under the idea that the New York Giants have passed on Shedeur at number 3, but they are still interested in trading up into round 1. The question then becomes, what pick would you look to trade up to? Like, at what point in the NFL draft do you have circled as the trade up for Shedeur Sanders zone? We know that the Saints need a quarterback, and they are picking number 9 in this draft. And while I don't think the injury to Derek Carr should change any team's draft strategy at the quarterback position, it has started to seem like that the Saints are zeroing in on Sanders. Of mock drafts done by NFL experts over the last week, Shedeur has been the player most mocked to the Saints. We broke that down on the channel yesterday. So if the Saints are picking 9 and they're going to take a quarterback, the Giants are most likely going to have to get in front of them to pick Sanders. I'll say this. If he gets past 9, then I'm looking to call the Chicago Bears at number 10. Ian Rappaport with a perfectly timed tweet today saying this. The Panthers GM, Dan Morgan, said his phone didn't go nuts after the news broke on Derek Carr's shoulder injury, despite holding the number 8 pick right before the Saints. But he sounds like a guy who is open to offers, saying, quote, we'll be waiting if somebody wants to come up. Now, I wonder if there is someone that has a really good relationship with Dan Morgan that might need a quarterback and might be interested in trading in to the top 8. Oh, yeah, Joe Schoen and Dan Morgan are really good friends. And I remember this clip from Hard Knocks where they were talking about trading for Brian Burns. And at first it was 2 first-round picks. Then it became a first-round pick. And it became a second-round pick. And they didn't even give that up. Joe Schoen and Dan Morgan have a really good relationship. They are really good friends. They were a part of the Buffalo Bills staff just a couple of years ago. They have been working in the NFL together since like 2000, dating back to their days with the Miami Dolphins. And I don't remember whose wedding they went to, but in the offseason Hard Knocks that aired last year, they said that they have attended each other's weddings or something of that sort. And Joe Schoen and Dan Morgan's family are now good friends. So how nice is it to have a guy picking in top 8 that's willing to trade down as a friend and that you maybe need to trade up? And I think the Panthers would love the idea of not letting their NFC South rival, the New Orleans Saints, select the quarterback of their hopes and dreams that maybe could be their franchise quarterback. Like, it would be a real FU from Morgan to New Orleans to say, nope, we're not going to let you even get a chance to draft Shedeur. I'm going to give the pick to my buddy Joe Schoen for him to select that guy. So let's say that works out, and Joe Schoen and Dan Morgan are on the phone, and maybe they already have a contingency plan set up, as Joe Schoen always likes to do. What would be the cost to get up to the number 8 overall pick? Most likely, and not even most likely, I would pretty much guarantee it, the Giants would be giving up pick 34. So you'd have to move up from 34 to 28. You got to move up a bunch of spots. It's going to cost a lot. And per the Rich Hill trade value chart that a lot of NFL teams use and that NFL teams have been using for quite some time, different names and different versions, this one is the one that I like to look at the most. The 8th pick in the 2025 NFL draft is worth 406 points. So the Giants would have to get close to 406 points. And sometimes when you're trading up for a quarterback, there's a quarterback tax and you have to pay a little bit more. So here are where the Giants' day 2 picks sit at this point. Pick 34, 175 points. Pick 65, 78 points. And pick number 99, 36 points. That equals 289 points. So still shy of that 400-ish number that we talked about. And if I was Dan Morgan and I was the general manager of the Carolina Panthers, if I am moving completely out of round 1, going from pick 8 to pick 34, I need at least one future first-round pick. Like, if you're going to take away a first-round pick from me, I need to get back a first-round pick at some point. And I really think that is a non-negotiable, most likely, for the Panthers. If the Giants do trade up from 34 to 8, a first-round pick from the Giants in 2026 would be going to the Carolina Panthers. And I think a trade would somewhat look like this. You give up pick 65, the first pick in the 3rd round, and you give up that 2026 first-round pick. You may even have to give up pick 99 here. You might have to give up pick 104 or 105 at this spot. Like, this would probably be the bare minimum, and I don't even know if this gets it done. Would it get it done for you? If you were Joe Schoen and Morgan called you and said, all right, Joe, we're boys. We've been working together for over 20 years. Our families are friends. I like you. You like me. I'm not trying to screw you. You're not trying to screw me. I'll give you pick 8, but you got to give me, obviously, pick 34, pick 65, and a future first. Would you make this trade? Type A for accept, type D for decline. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I'll give you my answer on that coming up in a second, but first, I got to tell you about our proud sponsor, Game Time. If you're thinking about going to a Giants game next year, download the Game Time app, create an account, use our promo code ChatSports, and you'll get $20 off your first purchase where terms do apply. You get the best seats for the lowest price guaranteed. Prices actually drop as the events get closer. And you can save up to 60% off buying last-minute tickets for sporting events, concerts, comedy shows, theater events, and so much more. The app is super easy to navigate. You get to see your seat view inside the app when deciding which tickets to buy. You get to access your tickets from your phone, and it is easy to resell your tickets if you no longer want to go to said event. It's more just Giants games as well. You can catch the Knicks in the playoffs at Madison Square Garden in round 1. You can go watch Aaron Judge and the New York Yankees in the Bronx if you want to do that. If you want to go see Juan Soto hit 250 this year, you can go out and watch them play. Or if you want to go watch the Rangers as the playoffs are around the corner, you could do that. Moral of the story, if you're looking for tickets to any event, the best place to get them is with Game Time. Lowest price guaranteed. Promo code ChatSports, CHATSPORTS, for $20 off your first purchase where terms do apply. What time is it? It is game time, ladies and gentlemen. Support the show, support the sponsor, be a real one. I had to think really hard and long about this one. I'm going to decline that trade. One, I don't even think that's enough to move up from 34 to 8. What's that, 26 spots? I'm bad at math. 26 spots you got to move up? Like 26, 4, carry the 4. Yep, 34. 26 spots. That's a lot. I don't love the idea of letting my GM on the hot seat give up a future first-round pick, where I could see the New York Giants being terrible next year, or I could see them winning 7 to 8 games. And if you're terrible next year, you might be giving up another top 3 first-round pick, and I don't know if I want to do that. I'll say this. Why not just wait until 2026 to get a quarterback at that point? Like, if you don't take Shedeur at 3, I'm not saying that means you don't love him. Maybe you just love Abdul Carter more, and you do love Shedeur. And if you do love Shedeur, Joe Schoen, you make that trade. Thing is, I don't love Shedeur. I like him. I don't love him. And that's just kind of where I'm hung up on that. So why not wait until 2026? Let me say it in a different way. I would rather have pick 65, a 2026 first-round quarterback on a 5-year deal compared to no third-round pick this year, no 2026 first-round pick, and Shedeur on a 4-year deal, because I don't anticipate Shedeur Sanders playing all that much his rookie year unless Russell Wilson is terrible and then Jameis Winston is terrible. Like, both those guys' contracts have a lot of incentive money tied in, strictly just being the starting quarterback. The Giants have showed their cards that, in my opinion, they don't love Shedeur because they went all out for Matthew Stafford. They went all out for Aaron Rodgers. They tried to trade up for Cam Ward, and the contracts that they gave to Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston say they are our starters this year. Like, Shedeur isn't good enough, in my opinion, to draft him, have him sit, then be the starter in 2026, but only on a 4-year deal, and give up multiple picks, where I could just keep those picks, improve the roster with those picks, and then have a rookie quarterback at 2026 that's on a 5-year deal. Like, I just don't view Shedeur Sanders as a franchise-elevating quarterback at this moment. He can be that guy. I do think he can be that guy. And if he is that guy, I will tell you I am wrong. And if he is a Giant, I hope I'm wrong. But I don't see a guy that's worthy of a top 5 pick. I don't. And like, I don't think I'm saying anything crazy here. Nobody really on an NFL roster or an NFL team thinks that. No one inside the draft community really thinks that. Like, I don't even mind not drafting a quarterback at all this year. I'm kind of of the belief that if you don't draft one in round 1, you probably shouldn't draft one at all. Like, yes, I would take Cam Ward. But at the end of the day, the success rate of day 2 and day 3 quarterbacks over the last 10 years is not all that high. Yes, there are rare instances like Jalen Hurts and Brock Purdy and Dak Prescott. But there's also, for every Dak Prescott, there are so many misses as well. Like, you have 5 picks inside the top 105. This Giants roster has holes, and a huge hole at a franchise quarterback spot. But man, if you could get 3 to 4 long-term starters with your first 5 picks inside the top 105, that's how you turn around an organization. And like, that's how you build a roster. And at the end of the day, the NFL isn't saying if the Giants don't get a quarterback now, they can never get one. Like, a lot of people think the Giants are going to suck next year. Their season win total started at 3.5 in Las Vegas. If the Giants suck next year, or this year, Giants suck this year, they're going to have a new GM. And they're going to have a new head coach. And they'll have another top pick in the NFL draft. And I would rather that new head coach and that new GM be able to pick that quarterback. I don't really like the idea of GMs and head coaches on the hot seat picking quarterbacks. And I definitely don't like the idea of GM and head coaches giving up future draft capital. Because if they're gone, they don't have to worry about the problem, and they're still getting paid. I don't know. If the Giants are able to put together a season with 7, 8, or 9 wins, like, people think that that's awful. That's great. The Giants would have more than doubled their win total from last year. And then I'm bringing back Russell Wilson, and I'm going to continue to build up the roster and continue to build it up. And then when I see an opportunity to move up for a quarterback or be in a spot to select a quarterback that I deem as a franchise-elevating guy, I would take him. So, yeah, if you win 7, 8, 9 games, you won't be picking in the top 10. And I can already hear it in the comments. But, Marshall, if we're not picking inside the top 5, if we're not picking inside the top 10, we will never, ever, 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 ever get our quarterback. We'll be the Pittsburgh Steelers. We'll never get our guy. Did the NFL outlaw trading up? I don't know. I haven't seen that rule. I spend way too much time on NFL Twitter and on NFL Internet. I didn't see that law get passed through. Like, when did it become a fact that you can only find franchise quarterbacks in the top 3 or the top 5 or the top 10? Like, if that was the case, the Browns would be good by now. Like, how many quarterbacks have the Browns picked inside the top 10 that stink? How many quarterbacks have the Jags picked inside the top 10 that stink? It's the same teams over the last 20 years picking inside the top 10 that are no good. The New York Jets, they did it twice. Swing and a miss, swing and a miss. Like, Just because you pick high in the draft doesn't mean you're going to get a franchise guy. It doesn't. Like, finding a quarterback is not a direct science. Yes, the odds say the closer you pick to one, the higher your chances are. Absolutely. But there are plenty of really good quarterbacks in this league that didn't go 1, or didn't go 2, or didn't go 3. Well, there are also really good quarterbacks that did go 1, 2, and 3. I spent 5 minutes putting together my top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL. So I didn't put much time into this. But I just wanted to show you. Patrick Mahomes, Chiefs traded up for him. The Bills, they traded up for Josh Allen. Joe Burrow went first, as he should. Third best quarterback in the league, in my opinion. Lamar Jackson, multi-time MVP, picked in the last pick of the first round. I hate myself for putting Jalen Hurts on this list, but when you go to the Super Bowl twice and you outplay Patrick Mahomes twice, you're going to be on my top 10 list. And I think he was picked in the second round. Yeah, 53rd overall. Jayden Daniels is damn good, and he went 2. And I wish Jayden Daniels was a Giant. Jared Goff is damn good. He went 1. But the Rams traded him. Justin Herbert went 6th. Matthew Stafford went 1st. And Jordan Love went 26th. I could have went a bunch of different quarterbacks there. Look, there are 4 elite quarterbacks in this league, in my opinion. Mahomes, Allen, Burrow, and Jackson. And then from 5 to 15, you could mash up any people you like. I could have put C.J. Stroud in there. Like, there's so many different guys. I wanted to put maybe another couple quarterbacks in here. But the point of this is not who my top 10 quarterbacks are. The point is, you don't have to have the first, second, or third pick. That's not the only way to find a franchise quarterback. Maybe you find one next year at pick 8 when you trade up. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think the Giants should draft a QB this year? Type D for draft, type P for pass. Let me know your thoughts, and make sure you are following me on social media. I'm on Twitter. I'm on IG, @MarshallGreen_. Hit me up, and let's go G-Men.